what is everything behind you? What are we? That's like an old computer.
So along with doing Twitch streaming with games and stuff, I also have what I call, this is like my retro alcove. So I have a retro collection of retro PCs, and I try and keep them all running. I work on them from time to time. I used to do more videos on YouTube with it, but I took kind of a break from it because a lot of it's tied to growing up, with my dad. He kind of helped me get into the hobby, and also, he kind of had been purchasing computers as I was growing up and saw my interest in them and kind of kept, feeding into that and encouraged it. And he passed away in August. So I've been taking a break from doing anything retro computer related because it's like it draws up all the memories of my dad, which, they're not bad memories. But I'm getting past that now, and I started working on some stuff again, and I actually did a stream last week with a little bit of retro PC content. So
hell yeah. I've been known to do a computer here and there.
Do a computer.
I look like I'm sucking on a robot's dick right now.
Do you see that eye roll? She's like, you.
Already.
You.
You just got there, Ms Ari. I didn't even go, yet.
So do you prefer Ariana, Ari?
All the above are okay. Yeah, I mean,
What do your friends call you?
Ari's fine. Ari, usually.
Okay.
So, what do I call you?
Ms Ari.
Sorry, just baby.
Oh, Ms Ari.
Baby.
You want to see my crotch? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, teachers and students, grandpas and grandkids, everybody everywhere, welcome back to the Girl Dad Girls podcast. My name is Michaela Garcia, and with me as always is the amazing, that QT Danny B.
Hi.
And the super dope-ass Bree St. Marie. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very special guest, Miss Maiden Ariana.
Ooh. Whoa.
Ms Ari, welcome to the show.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
She's cute, y'all.
Already, Danny?
Yeah. Already.
Ow. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Will you tell us a bit about yourself?
So, without sounding too rehearsed, because I do say this a lot when I'm a guest on something, I'm Maiden Ariana. I'm a lead IT architect by day for my day job, and that's with an insurance and finance company. Then by night, I am a YouTube and Twitch content creator, YouTube partner. I just applied for Twitch partnership again and got denied again, but I'm super close on that one, and my community will likely get me there soon. But when it comes to other projects, I recently can finally call myself a game designer because I created something called Star Citizen, which I'm sure we'll get into in a little bit. And then beyond that, I am a parent of two amazing kids who are both literally reaching the age where they're going to leave the nest. And so I'm getting used to that idea. And that's probably why I'm trying to build a online family to spend time with. Yeah. But it's different. And actually, my son's going to be probably walking in while we're recording tonight. He's out right now, but he'll be back in about an hour. So
cool. Bring him on, and we can ask questions. We got questions galore. At least 3 questions.
I should also mention too that I produce a podcast format show as well. It's called The Yacht Club, which is all Star Citizen related. That's every Wednesday night. We just recorded or well, we do it live. So we just did one live last night. And of course, I was kind of the former producer of the Transvengers back in the day with Mika on that show, and
That's me.
that was during the
Whoa,
pandemic.
I know her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ms Ari, I still pop into your Twitch from time to time, and you have so many followers now. Congratulations, you're doing so good over there.
Thank you. Yeah,
I remember going on. You only had like maybe 10 at the most. Now you always have like 50, 60, 80 sometimes. It's awesome.
Wow.
I've been doing it I was part-time for so long that it's really hard to get exposure and have like build your audience. But I finally have a set schedule now, and I'm really treating it like it's my second job so that I can hopefully build that up to where it's a net gain instead of a net loss to do it. Because right now everything I do is like all the stuff behind me and all the money I filter back into the channel. It's kind of a net loss, but
I think we know how that goes.
Yeah, that's what Girl That
sure.
Girls has been operating in the red for.
That's our slogan, net loss.
Yeah. What about the net
Well, I
losers?
like to go on Ms Ari's Twitch and try to make her blush. That's usually my ultimate goal. I will go in there and just say the most inappropriate random things, kind of like I do in normal everyday life. And
I call those days weekdays.
when she cracks a little smile or she tilts her head like she's a little shy, that's when I'm like, yes, okay, I can leave now.
Oh.
Did my part.
Just need to stay long enough to count as a viewer.
So I've been looking into doing Twitch because I've been playing Modern Warfare Zombies because a friend of mine told me to get it and never plays with me. So I've been following some people who do live stream of that. Do you play a game, or is it actually your game?
So I play most of the time when I stream, it's 95% of the time it's Star Citizen, and when I mentioned Star Citizen with a B, that's the game I created that is going on in Twitch chat. People enter commands to play the game, and it's kind of Star Citizen's mini-me. So Star Citizen is a space-based sandbox game, essentially, massive multiplayer, and it's one of those that has kind of a checkered past when it comes to the media that covered it. Like some people call it a scam and all this stuff, but it currently is the best space-based game you can play online, and it's going to just keep getting better. There's so much happening this year with it. That's incredible. I went to CitizenCon finally last year in LA, and that was amazing. Mm-hmm.
Holy guacamole!
Yeah, they had 3,000 people show up, and
whoa,
were you recognized?
I actually signed some guys back.
No way!
It was interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Is the game? Is it a full game yet, or is it still kind of like in that beta mode thing?
I've been in beta for like 10 years.
It's an alpha, actually. Yeah, they call it an alpha, but it's playable though. I mean, you go in the universe and play, and yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe how much money they've crowdfunded off one game that's been under development for 15 years at this point.
It's more like it's since 2012, so 12 years.
Yeah.
Well, really 2013 was when the funding kind of really kicked off. Because Kickstarter was at the end of 2012. So
with your game, do you write code for that, or is it mostly just like modules and whatnot? What do you write in for that?
C#.net mostly, and then
Unity, or
that's the bot, and then actually the front end for the overlay in OBS. OBS is streaming software that you use to do Twitch. The overlay itself is written in just JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and that's it. And so I made it as thin as possible on the overlay side, and the bulk of the work's done on the .NET C# bot side. So
I don't know what language you ladies are speaking, but I'm a little aroused.
Something.
No, that's cool. I'm on a project now that they're using C#, and I'm relearning it from 15 years ago because I'm old. But that's very cool. So how do people find it? Like, where do they go to get Star Citizen?
So Star Citizen, there is a website that I created called starbitizen.com. So you can just go there and get information about it. There's like a sample video on it and all that stuff, and a page with all the streamers who are currently using it. There's like 13 right now that are using it, including myself. and there's a page that shows who helped with different portions of it, because I enlisted a friend of mine who's a coder who did the trade API, because if you're a cargo trader, that's the most complex part, is making sure the prices and the inventory and all that stuff. There's like an actual little economy happening. So
Cool.
so that was a nice long big chunk to kind of give to somebody else while I did the bulk of the everything else. So
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome. So how long have you been transitioning?
since so I kind of October of 2014, Halloween was when I had my first dose of HRT. So yeah.
Wait. Oh, I thought we were talking about from CNET to JavaScript
CNET
transitioning. You mean
to
are you trans?
Java
Ms. Ari?
Sharp.
Yes, I'm trans. You know
What
this.
Another one?
Another
Another one.
I know,
Another
right?
one.
Oh my
Sharp
God.
to C flat. That's cool. Wow. That's like, it sounds like a dream, obviously. Tomorrow
Yeah,
it
so
will be.
this will be the 10th year, yeah, in
That's
October.
nice. Oh yeah. Tomorrow is my 4 months since FFS, so
Awesome.
and nose still freaking hurts. So.
Oh no.
Oh, you should have seen her when she first had it. We were interviewing on the podcast, and anytime we made her laugh, she would be in so much pain. She'd be like,
It hurts so much.
It just turned into a game at one point.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, y'all are jerks. But yeah, no, I hate them for that.
Can we ask Ms. Ari what procedures you have had done, if any?
So yeah, I actually had wow, it's been so long since I've talked about all this. So I've had GCS and
oh, fun.
you might guess on what the other one was, but I had breast augmentation.
No, I never guessed.
But I did them both on the same day. I was on the operating table for 7.5 hours. They usually don't do that, but my doctor said at the time I was in like the best shape of my life. I was working really hard to make sure that I was going to be able to go through the recovery process, with as little problems as possible. So I'd spent the whole prior year swimming a ton, riding my bike a ton, just getting in shape, and so yeah, he approved me doing both at the same time. And beyond the GCS and breast aug, I mean, obviously, well, when you say procedures, I usually just list all the things that contributed to getting where I am now. So HRT, and then of course the two I listed. But in recent years, because I am older than I look, I've been doing. I do have an esthetician, and I do some Botox, and I've done
same.
Yeah, I actually did do buccal fat removal. So that was last year, and that's something that just helps. Like as far as my cheeks weren't like I didn't look like a chipmunk, but because of the amount, like my lineage and my genes in my family, the women in my family would kind of get a little bit of a jowl effect going as they aged, and I was terrified of that happening to me. And you could kind of see the beginnings of it starting. So I went in, and I was actually talking about doing like a, getting some kind of surgery where they pull the skin back and all those more involved things. And they talked me out of it. They're like, no, you don't need that. This other buccal fat removal, if you do this, and I'm not recommending this for people, by the way, because it is one of those, it's irreversible if you do it. I was taking a big risk. And if you don't like it, because, if you need to really have a good idea of what your face shape might look like once it's done. And for me, I was just trying to kind of, sorry, let me take one sip of water.
I could use that.
I was just trying to kind of turn back the clock, maybe 5-6 years, as far as how my face was feeling to me. And my friends were telling me I was crazy and all that stuff, but I went ahead and did it. And I was really happy with the results, because it helps to, if you do have that kind of jowl effect happening, it does lift, like
Are you talking about this?
part of your face. Kind of, yeah, like, but more so like just gel. When you think of, there's a certain type of dog that has like the really pronounced like hanging cheeks. Yeah,
I mean, like, yeah.
and I didn't look like that, but I was worried eventually that could happen to me, So I was, and I don't really intend to do much more other than occasional Botox trips and things like that. I have done lip augmentation too with just the temporary injections, that the fillers, those are fun because I, trying to get the right lip shape that you want and everything. It's
lip fillers. Lip filler hurts.
I recently got lip fillers again. I actually was part of a what's it called when you do stuff online?
Study group,
influencer
focus group
project or something like that. So I got my lips done, and
nice.
they hooked me up.
Our local influencer Mika.
They're a little bit bigger than I wanted. They were gonna put a natural look, so they're a little like puffy still, but I'm getting used to them.
They look delicious.
My kisses are way soft now.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I mean the thing you were talking about with like being in shape for like doing surgeries. Like I did 3 in 30 days. Like I did orchiectomy, breast augmentation, and FFS, and people were like, "That's way too soon. How did you get approval for that?" And I was like, "First off, I didn't tell anybody." Then went to 3 different doctors, and second off, I was like, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, and I stopped drinking. I was working out like every day, and it was like it was nothing. I mean, I feel like if people they want to do a bunch of surgeries really fast, get in shape because you heal a lot faster when you're in shape. So
I do want to mention too, like when I say I got breast augmentation, I think to the uninitiated when it comes to the subject of being trans and going through transition, so many people seem to think that we all just go and get boobs slapped on us. That's not the case. You grow your own. Like I had grown my own for 3 years, and so I'm just kind of highlighting this fact that I was a large A on one side and a solid B on the other. So like they tend to, like any woman, they grow a little uneven sometimes, and so getting to that size on my own was great because then the final results when I did get augmentation was exactly what I wanted. But then to my surprise, after just in the last like 2 years, I had another growth spurt when it came to my chest size, and somehow I didn't grow much else in the rest of my body. So it was interesting. I think it was I really can't explain it other than I don't complain. So.
You're lucky though, and Bree, you have the same thing. Like your natural breast growth is like amazing, but I had hardly anything. I wasn't even a tiny A cup before I got my breast aug, and I was on hormones for almost 2 years. And so when I did get breast aug, they were up to, I think they were like a large C. But then when I got my recent BBL, I had some fat put into my boobies for a more natural look, and now I'm a 36 double D.
Nice.
I got that double D.
I
only have 1 D.
Oh, okay. I have 3 now.
So according to Victoria's Secret, I think their sizing is a little weird, but according to them, I'm an E cup. But I think it's more like a large double D or triple D. But
you're an E cup.
That's what they say. But I don't think that's.
If you jump rope, do you ever like slap yourself in the face?
Yeah.
No. Although I haven't jumped rope for a very long time.
That's awesome. Very cool, very cool. So what do you do besides streaming and work?
Honestly, there's not a lot of time for a ton else. I like to ride my mountain bike when I can get outside. I have a best friend that lives only like 10 minutes away, and she and I go on forest preserve walks and all that stuff all the time. And
I don't remember going on walks with you. And I live in California. Oh, you're talking about someone else. No. Okay.
Yeah, Mika doesn't really walk. She
I don't.
she just sort of struts. So when you were talking about, or when you went to the conference, you said that somebody recognized you. Does that happen often when you go places? Do you get like recognized by like gamers or just anybody? Like when you go out and just during your day to day, do people ever come up to you and be like, "Hey, Ms Ari"?
No, thankfully not, because honestly, if it happened locally, I'd probably be a little nervous. But locally, I think I don't know. I guess having the blonde and pink hair might tip some people off that I might be a streamer, but they I haven't had anyone come up to me and know, the actual like online name I use and all that stuff. Or at least they weren't obvious about it.
You like don't have people like come to the door and try to sell you internet and then realize
stole it from me.
No.
Right there too.
So that happened to us. We rented Airbnb a few weekends ago.
Happened to us.
And so we were all hanging out, and then these people, they're selling internet or something like that.
Yeah.
They came to the door, and one of them recognized me.
Internet?
It made me feel like a celebrity. Brie was like, "Did you plan that?" And I was like, "No."
Yeah, she's a fucking plant.
Well, but Bree had it happen too at the club, right? Somebody came up. Nobody recognized me, and if they do, they're just like, "Oh God,
oh please."
Yeah, they're like, "You're that broad on the internet
that talks
cool."
Too much. Yeah,
I'm in some shitty corners of the internet.
So, Ms Ari, how is the love life going for you? Are you dating anyone? Are you seeing someone? Are you playing the field?
Juicy.
I am seeing someone right now. It's been pretty recent. Yeah.
What?
Nice.
Sorry, Danny.
We're not labeling it or anything, but yeah, I started seeing somebody, and it's been
unlabeled, Danny. Unlabeled.
It's been fun.
Hey, that means means you're still on the market.
Oh yeah, I got a sound for that. I screwed up.
Hey,
my bad.
What's up? How's it going? No,
how you doing?
How
are you doing?
You want to get together and write some code? 100110. 2? No,
that's hot.
Ari, you'll probably appreciate this. Did you know that 1010 is 10 in decimal, but it's 1010? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you knew that.
8421 when you're doing bits. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's 8 and 2. 10. Anyways, I love that.
There's some crazy chemistry going on in here right now.
Yeah. Ooh, is it hot in here? Or is this my CPU?
The AI again. Whatever.
I just got a hard drive.
It's more RAM.
Okay, so behind you, what is the oldest computer?
I don't see a Commodore 64 back there.
It's over here. I have a Commodore 64, a Commodore VIC-20, and I think the VIC-20 is the oldest that I've got. I think it would be. But I make it easy on myself. I have a command in my Twitch chat. When people start asking about the computers, they can just type !retro, and then it gives a list of most of my collection. But I have, like, at last count, over 30 different computers. Most of them are from the old days, so they're smaller and they're not as expensive as today's machines.
So is it just a collection, or do they actually work?
I would say 80% of them are functioning. Some of them are recent acquisitions that I literally haven't even plugged in yet, because it's smart to not plug them in until you open them up, make sure the capacitors are blown or anything else is going on, or leaky battery. And so that's some of the stuff I do on my YouTube channel. And like I said, I took a break. Was that before we were recording, or was that pre-show?
Good section break too. Don't plug it in until you open it up. Make sure it's not going to explode on you.
Yeah.
No,
Before
yeah,
you start driving, make sure you tarp your load. That's what my dad used to say.
I don't even know what that
Oh my
means.
Anyway,
So how you said you have two kids, and how did they deal with your transition? How did they take it, and how did you bring it up?
So, because my former spouse, after, I mean, there's a whole long story here, but when I first came to my spouse and said, I'm transgender, it's not going to go away, I need to do something about it, the reaction wasn't what I was hoping for.
Same.
And yeah, we did do just over 5 months of marriage counseling and couples counseling, trying to see if we could stay together somehow. And I honestly didn't want the marriage to end. Mainly for my kids. Things with my partner weren't the greatest at the time, but I was willing to stick it out. And honestly, I kind of thought that she would eventually come around, but it wasn't in the cards. And I of course was upset about it at the time, but it wasn't what she signed up for. So I've absolutely kind of forgiven her for what felt at the time like a major rejection, and like, we both made wedding vows, and when it comes to something changing with your spouse, to me it's something you should stick with them regardless, and try, be willing to try at least, and
love them, love the person, not their shell. But apparently some people can't see beyond a shell.
Exactly. And so again, I'm not trying to bash my former spouse. I just because everything regarding the separation and the eventual divorce went probably way better than it does for most people. We stayed amicable for the kids, and we did our best, and I was very faithful when it came to child support, and I'm still paying maintenance actually because of the length of our marriage, and I will be for another quite a few years here. So it's hard, but because of that maintenance and everything else, actually my former spouse is about to graduate and have her master's now. So she's doing well, and that makes me happy, honestly, because like my kids need both of us to be doing well. And my kids, when we told them though, after all this counseling and everything else, my spouse wanted us to kind of tell them about both things at the same time, meaning my transition and the fact that we were going to separate. And that's something I kind of didn't want to have happen, but I agreed to it at the time because it was getting to the point where she kind of wanted the separation to happen as soon as possible because it was getting really painful. And so my, we sat the kids down in the living room, and this is literally the hardest day of my life, is to tell them about this. And I kind of written some things down ahead of time. I didn't bring a piece of paper with me, but I did it to sort my thoughts out on how I was going to try and explain it to them. And so I started by explaining that to them first, that I was actually at the time I wasn't even deciding to transition. I was instead just on HRT because I don't know about all of you, but when I started HRT, it was more of a I had to do something, and I had to try and start feeling better about myself. And it was a night and day difference. HRT, finally having my body and my brain finally running on the right fuel and the right hormones, was a night and day thing that completely changed my life. And you don't know how much you're struggling just to get through every day. And if you're trans, if you actually are trans, I think until you take that step and have that experience of suddenly you're running on all the things, all the right hormones that I think should have been there since birth for me. And it essentially I had told my spouse, well, I'm not going to stop the age 13. And she's like, well, that means you're going to start changing. And I'm like, yes, but as far as everything else goes with that, surgeries and things like that, we could over time figure that out, and I wasn't intending to just one day, start.
Was it you walk into a closet and you walk out and you're a girl, and it's like
Right.
no one they
Yeah.
don't understand that. It's like I'm still going to be me for a long time. All the parts still work.
How old were your kids when you had that conversation?
I think so. It was right around the birthdays, actually, too, and we waited till their birthdays were done because we didn't want to ruin. Like all four of us were born in the month of June, so this happened. We talked to them in July. So we didn't want to ruin the birthday month for all of us. And so it was July of 2015. So I had actually been on HRT at that point for, almost a year and a half. And no.
So you must have seen like pretty drastic changes by then though, right?
They were... Yeah, I mean, I was, sent, if I bumped into a doorway, it hurt. Things like that.
Yeah.
We have all been there.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, and I had started letting my hair grow and everything too, but it just was bushy, curly, and honestly, I thought it looked pretty good for what it was. But my kids, telling, and I don't know how much detail I want to go into this because, it is about my kids and they might not want, like the pain we were all kind of going through that day on the internet. But let me just say it was the hardest day of my life. And, their reactions though, to me talking about being trans and trying to do something that I needed to do for my health, and I even explained that I will start to look more like a girl than a boy to them. And they both, when I was done talking to them about that, they both got up out of where they were sitting and gave me a huge hug. And this was, of course, right before then. Okay, now we have to tell you that we're separated.
Oh no!
So it was awful. And so I'm not saying this is how you tell your kids. Like there's no set best way for doing something like that. But it is what it is. And, parents, I think, I don't know if it's above 50% or very close to 50% at this point. Parents all over the country and all over the world go through this and they have to tell their kids this, the separation part. Yeah. So,
I mean, well, that's the thing that nobody really like talks about is you on the internet, you see the fairy tale stories of, oh, hey, I came out and we stayed together because she was open-minded enough and not a virtue signaling turf. And but then you find out like 90% of them are virtue signaling turfs. They're like, oh, I love LGBT, and then until you bring one into their lives, and then they're like, oh, I don't like that. J.K. Rowling is right.
That sounds familiar.
But, yeah. J.K. Rowling and Hitler. But what's the difference? They're the same. But yeah, I think we essentially all have the same story here of came out, got called a murderer, and immediately, divorce was, which I think most people like won't talk about because they're just like this, it's embarrassing or sad or yeah. I think the cool thing though is like, and I know like for me especially like recently, it's like being able to find somebody who appreciates the you that you actually want to be. And while we thought that person that we were married was the one that we were going to be with, it turns out that was just the person that our old person wanted to be with. So now we have
that's a good point.
Something new.
Ms Ari, I have a question. So first I want to say I admire you because I know you're getting big on your gaming channel and you don't really broadcast the fact that you're trans, which is so cool.
Not anymore.
I actually recently announced my future retirement from being trans altogether.
I saw that.
I figured when I'm 40, I'm just going to drop the whole trans thing altogether. Never mention it again. I'll just be me. But I wanted to ask, with your new growth in your gaming community, when or if people do find out, how has the response been with that?
So
Good question.
again, I was talking about, the Star Citizen community and how I'm very big into that. And all I can say about that particular gaming community is it's the exception to the rule of toxicity, at least in my experience. That community, and I credit, honestly, a lot of the big name Star Citizen streamers. Like, they're not necessarily big name Twitch streamers overall. Like, you might not know them unless you play Star Citizen, but there's definitely quite a few out there who are absolutely, one of their cornerstones on their channels is no hate, no racism, no transphobia, no no anything.
Yeah.
Like, and they truly are welcoming. And honestly, Cloud Imperium Games, who makes Star Citizen, they kind of top down, project that out too. And I know their company has quite a few members of the LGBT community across the spectrum. And go ahead, Brady.
Yes, Brady, in the front.
Yeah. No, I was going to say I've actually been in the Cloud Imperium office no less than a dozen times.
That's awesome.
That was the one in Bee Cave, and their whole and like their employment base is so diverse, it's ridiculous. I always enjoyed going up there whenever I had to. I actually removed a bat from their office once.
Not the baseball kind.
No,
that's what I was thinking. The baseball bat?
Nope. I loved going up there. They were fantastic.
When I was down there for the CitizenCon thing, I left one of my magnets of my Made in Ariana logo on their drink refrigerator.
That's smart.
I love it.
I planted it and left it there, and I was like, please don't ban me from the office, because I put it on Twitter later. And the community manager and the social media manager both responded that well, at least privately and other things too. I think that it's okay. It's not a big deal. So,
I mean, in terms of like companies being open and everything, because I just started working in a new job here in New York, and it was the first time I've ever seen like there's the men's room, the women's room, and then a gender neutral room in the middle. And it's like the first time I've ever seen that. It's just so fucking easy for people to do this, but and it means the world. I've realized that like these small little things that everybody's like, that's just stupid. That's so dumb that a company's going to do that. And it's like, it means I'm going to stay a lot longer. So I'll let you use the women's room.
And when it comes to that community, like there's a lot of former military people who play this game, because it's an FPS game too, and all this, and former pilots and things who love to fly these ships and do these things. They I
want to play this game.
When it comes to that group, my own, I guess, almost bias towards people who are kind of gun-toting Americans, and like I was worried, to be honest, to be streaming it so much at first, and but it's the exact opposite. Like I said, they just across the board, every type of person who's come into like my channel to talk or just say hi and everything else that are part of that community, for some reason they're not being toxic, and I think the approach I'm taking now of, I don't mention all the time that I'm trans. I bring it up from time to time. I do on my channel. Like I'll tell stories, or especially if someone who's trans comes in to chat and says, "Oh my gosh, I remember you from," like some people would even talk about transvengers and other stuff that we had done, and or somebody occasionally would come in to chat, and I'd be in the middle of a game doing something entirely different, and it would feel like the conversation's getting completely steered a different direction because they're trans and they have a question, and I have to make a judgment call. Do I want to completely change the whole feel of the stream into this? And usually I still just engage with the person and try and make them feel welcome and everything too. And
that's important for sure.
Yeah, but then there are times too where I say, right now I don't want to dive into that subject because maybe it's a heavy subject they're asking me about, and then I'll just ask them to like contact me on my Discord or something, and we could talk later, kind of a thing. But
it definitely is interesting how like some people, I mean, like I love being like a resource for anybody. I always tell like my coworkers and everything, like if you have questions, I don't get offended very easily. Like you can call me Daniel all you want. I'm not going to get offended because I like me. But like it is interesting how many people will jump on like Instagram, they'll see the podcast and like just immediately it's like, oh, Danny's just open for questions now. It's like a 24/7 question 7-Eleven. But you can't get delicious hot dogs. Well, you can. But
in Star Citizen, the funny thing is that they sell double dogs at all the hot dog stands in there, and so there's like this whole double dog.
Ooh.
Well,
I'll take
two are better than one thing. Yeah, never mind.
That's hilarious.
I'll take a hot double dog.
Ladies, is it that time?
Is
so.
it the time for the?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Mika Minute. Wait, where's my noise?
Metal.
So, Ms Ari, on this podcast, we do talk a lot about being trans, and like I always say, it gets a little stale, I think. So, I like to ask some random. It gets boring. So, I ask some random questions that have nothing to do with gender, and just answer them best you'd like, any way you want, and then we kind of get to get to know your personality a little bit better. So,
Okay.
You ready? Okay. So, all right, let's start with a simple one. I've asked this one before, actually. What would your final meal be if you were on death row and you could have anything?
Yeah.
Double D hot dogs.
Perfect. Double dog.
Probably a Pokeball.
A Pokeball? Like,
Yeah.
like you throw it out and you catch Pikachu?
No, it's deconstructed sushi, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Pokeball?
Yeah.
What they do?
Pokeball.
You know
Pokeball,
when in Pokemon Go, when you transfer Pokemon to Professor Oak, he just grinds it up and makes Pokeballs out of them.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yum.
Ladies, what would your last meal be?
Oh. Have I answered this question before?
I don't remember.
I'm going to say it again. Probably paella.
Paella.
Mm.
I still don't know what that is.
Ugh. God. I'll tell you later.
Danny, what would yours be?
Mac and cheese and chili.
Spicy.
Would it be flan?
Oh,
yeah.
damn it! Now that you mentioned that, I would probably go with filet mignon. And the lobster at 7 lobsters, because it's like
we're going big.
Put enough lobsters in you, and when they flip the switch and nuke you, they're not getting that smell out.
It just smells like red lobster.
Oh.
They're not getting that smell out.
Should I change my final meal to raw popcorn? So when they flip the switch, I just turn into a big popcorn machine.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
Then they're like, then you get ready. You're all I'm ready to go, and they're like, we're doing lethal injection. Fuck.
Shit.
My last meal is so basic. I don't want anything fancy. I honestly would just want McDonald's. 2 double cheeseburgers, a large fry, a large Coke, maybe a chocolate shake.
I don't know why I thought you were going to say menudo or something.
Menudo? No. Okay, Ms. Ari, next question. If you had to live through a world-ending apocalypse, would you rather live through a zombie, robots, or alien apocalypse, and why? And I'll give you an example. Zombie, think Walking Dead. Robot, think Terminator. Alien, maybe like A Quiet Place.
I'm probably the most well-equipped to help stop a robot apocalypse.
Oh, yeah, smart.
So,
yeah.
Okay, Judgment Day.
I'd probably hook up some old, modem and ancient computer and somehow reprogram them with... Never mind. Just kidding.
AOL dial-up noise, and then they're all dead.
Yeah.
How about you, ladies? What would you want to go through?
Zombies.
Well, yeah.
Call of Duty has taught me anything.
Yeah, you are.
I can pack a punch a gun.
What kind of aliens were we talking about?
I mean, I can't really think of too many alien takeovers, but like A Quiet Place is the latest one I could think of.
That's
Okay. Yeah, that seems doable.
What about
You said like War of the Worlds? No.
like what was it? What was the one where they came down but they all died because they got the flu?
War of the Worlds.
Is that War of the World? Yeah.
Yeah.
They got
They're like,
the flu.
oh,
Fucking
the
dummies.
bacteria in the water. It's like, damn, y'all gave up on that ending, didn't you?
Yeah, I probably want to go through a zombie apocalypse too. I feel
Hell
like that'd be
yeah,
at least the funnest way to go.
Let's do it.
If it's Walking Dead, that's fine. What about World War Z?
No,
they
Walking
run
Dead, slow zombies, not running zombies.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to
Ms.
Negan
Ari.
Brett.
Insane Bolt zombies.
Final question. Can you think of a celebrity that almost everybody seems to love, but for whatever reason, you just can't stand? I'll give you an example. People, I think I'm going to get some hate for this, but Beyonce. Everyone loves Beyonce, but for some reason, I'm just not feeling it.
My gosh.
Uh-oh.
I could probably come up with a good one, but I'm blinking right off the start of that one. Do you want to let the two of them go first, and I'll come up with one?
Ladies, you want to answer?
I'm the same with Beyonce. I'm gonna get some hell for this, but I am so freaking sick of hearing about Taylor Swift. Like, she's cool and all, but like anybody who has that kind of a following and sort of leans into it, like if you're like, I hate cult people, and she's just like, she started a cult. And she's like, they're just my Swifties, and it's like, that's annoying. Like, you're good and everything, but your fans are fucking annoying. And Swifties.
I think she seems like a genuinely nice person, though. No,
I mean, probably, but she's got a cult following, and they're all annoying. Fucking drinking the Kool-Aid and everything.
How about you, Bree?
Fucking poison Kool-Aid.
I don't know. That's two things that Danny's stolen from me tonight.
Uh-huh.
You know how much I hate fucking Tay-Tay. Like, shoved down my throat for a decade. And, like, I can't do it. I can't. So now I guess I'm going to have to say Robert Pattinson.
The vampire?
Yeah.
The Batman vampire?
Yeah. Yeah. Fine. Yeah, Batman vampire. Sparkly. Sparkly vampire. Whatever.
You think of one, Ms. Ari?
So when you say celebrity, is that strictly movie or music, or is it anyone who's achieved like celebrity status through popularity and whatever else?
Yeah,
she's like, it's you, Mika.
Oh, no,
I would say Elon Musk then.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think everybody hates him.
Okay, then I'm going to change mine to Zuckerberg.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm going to go with the entire band membership of Sublime. They fucking suck.
Okay.
Do they?
Okay. Fucking hate Sublime.
Now we're not going to have any of these people on as guests. Thanks a lot, ladies.
Damn it.
Beyonce's like, hey, can I come on your podcast? Not since
can I see country on your podcast?
Then while we're at it, I can't stand Joe Rogan. Perfect.
Yeah. Who else? Kanye.
I would take Ye. On here for sure. Not Kim though.
Oh.
Well, that has been the Mika Minute. Oh, golf music? Clap. Okay.
Well, that's awesome. Actually,
no, I can't show it.
That actually leads me to one of my favorite questions that we get to ask. And you've probably there's Mika Scotch again, and this time I am not editing this out, so staying in. I will mark it though, so I can zoom in on just you. Okay, cool.
Wait, I want to check something. Let's see. Okay, this.
What is?
That's amazing.
That's weird. It made your face look super like elongated.
It's like those 360 cameras.
Okay, so Ms. Ari, I have a question for you. Are you ready? This is when we ask.
I'm ready.
Yep. All of our.
Wait, are you allowed to call her Miss Ari, or is that my thing?
No, that's the third thing she's stolen tonight.
Miss Ariana. Do you have a transition theme song?
Oh, You mean one that kind of helped me get through it, or
or speaks to your transition, like kind of something that
through it, feel good song.
Titanium.
All right.
How does that song go? I'm titanium, like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the actual
something in the brain. I don't know the words.
Yeah, I used to. So when I would go for my electrolysis appointments, I would have to hype myself up on the drive over because it was really painful, like very painful. And so I would listen to. I had like a Power Girl soundtrack or not soundtrack, but playlist that I would listen to, and Titanium was one of the key ones on there. So.
Nice. Yeah. Who sings that again?
Sia?
Oh my gosh. I think, yes, featuring, right? Featuring Sia, or maybe that was her.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while since I looked at that playlist, but
that's awesome. It's a great song.
I do have a Spotify playlist out there called Music for Maidens, and it's on there. That's one of them.
It's David.
Ooh, nice. Make sure you put a little bubble on the bottom, Danny.
Oh, yes, I will. Or you will, Mika, because you're better at video editing than I am. But
yeah, we've all seen a Harry Potter video.
Yeah, we have. Well, very cool. That's awesome. I figured most people have like a song that really kind of helped them through a hard time of the transition, and it turns out, a lot of people have some really cool answers. So
mine is "Best of Both Worlds" by Hannah Montana.
Mine's Wrecking Ball.
Mine is "Dude Looks Like a Lady."
Take a walk on the wild side.
Mine actually is Super Bloom by Mr. Wives, and Mr. Wives 96 follows the podcast, but that is not related. Turns out a bunch of DMs later, it's not the same person. So cool. Well, that's the theme song question.
Nice. Bree, did you have a question?
I don't have
my standard question that I ask everybody on the show now. So if you remember the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge correctly, this is going to be a lot like that, except you're not dumping anything on your head. If you were to call out anyone that you know to be on this show, who would it be?
Can't be Mika.
And you cannot say Chris Roberts.
You can say Mika. Oh no, you can say Bree, because she's never been a guest on the show.
Oh right.
Let's see. I don't want to accidentally out somebody if they're no longer listing themselves as trans, but
you don't have to be on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, they can be.
Well, now that I've said that,
you got a sister. You got a sister.
What's that?
A sister. A sister.
Oh, I mean, I have two actual sisters, and then
oh really?
But let's see. I guess I would.
Yeah, they don't have to be trans or dad. Apparently, that's what I thought. But
yeah, nah.
Or a dad of a girl, because it's just a fucking name. Everybody listening.
Yeah,
it's like the Mike Smith show. You don't have to be named Mike Smith to go on it.
Yeah. Do you think they would have more followers?
I have at least two people in mind, but I kind of want to ask them first before saying their name on here. I don't know if that's okay as an answer.
Can you name someone who would agree to it?
Beep.
Wait, say that again. You all kind of responded there.
Can you think of somebody who would be cool with it?
Oh, well, I hope she would say yes, but I've kind of gotten to know Smashly, who is a longtime Twitch partner, and she's gotten to the point where she's super successful on Twitch and TikTok and everything else. And she's openly trans and talks about it occasionally. Usually it's in response to trolls and things like that. But
Smash trolls.
But she might come on.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. She
Looking
recently moved
Smashly.
to the Chicagoland area too, which I don't know. Hopefully I can hang out with her at some point. So
wow.
Ooh, exciting.
Wait, no, you already
Not
have
in that way.
Yeah.
I was looking up to it.
That's awesome. Well, very cool. Well, yeah, I guess is it time for some final thoughts from folks, and then jumping into some after hours, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll go first. Ms.
Nika,
Ari,
go ahead.
you've always been one of my favorite people, one of my closest friends, and I've always looked up to you, almost like a big sister that I'm attracted to. Is that weird? Anyway, I think you're amazing. I think you're genuine. You're so kind and sweet, and I love you. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
I said I love you.
I love you too, Mika.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, back to Tim.
It's so good to meet you. I've been following you for a bit here now, and it's really like cool to like get to know the person behind the social media. So and that you're a real person. It's so cool to find out that people who are like these big popular celebrities are just really genuinely nice on the inside. So there's so many of them that aren't, but you're a sweet person.
See, I don't think I'm a big popular celebrity.
Oh, you are
more popular than us.
I'm getting more well known in certain communities. That's the only way I look at it. And but
somebody told me the other day, they were like, they follow me on Instagram. They're like, you have 9,000 followers. Like, that's nothing. It's single digit thousands.
That's a lot.
So
Yeah, that's fine. It's whatever.
Most people just want to bang me.
Ari, thank you so much for coming on. You were amazing and delightful and super cute, and you have the biggest boobs I've ever seen. Ever.
I've learned lighting. No, I'm just kidding.
Directly overhead, shining right down. Very well lit, too. Good job.
That's awesome. Cool.
One thing I should have mentioned, I just kind of want to mention it because it's kind of cool, because the reason behind it is I guess our ages, but I'm part of a women's carball team, which is Rocket League as well. So
carball.
The three core members of us, we call ourselves the Mystics. So again, I did the website for us. It's the mystics.com, but it's MISSTICS. So
I get it.
And
I heard Mystics.
Yeah, no, Mystics. kind of like we're missing our shots, but also mystical, and that was kind of the idea behind the name. But
clever girl.
Yeah. But we competed in the WCB, which was the women's carball tournament, and the three of us, I think, combined to make our combined ages, we were by far the oldest team in the league. We were playing against like 20-year-olds, and it was it was interesting. But we competed, and we weren't last. We ended up.
Girl. I
think there were three teams behind us still that we had did better than throughout the season. So. I don't know. It was an experience, and we're still training as if we're going to be in another tournament or another league, because that league has kind of gone not totally defunct, but they're having problems with sponsorships and keeping it going, unfortunately, because it was awesome. It was like a very it was supportive of the LGBT community, LGBTQ plus community, everybody, yeah, it was a special thing, and I really hope it comes back, or a variation of it comes back. So
that's cool. I remember watching you play Rocket League, and you play mostly with the keyboard, right?
Keyboard and mouse. I'm one of the few people that still do that. Yeah,
that is very impressive. I can't even play with the controller. I'm not that good. Ms. Ari, you want to throw out some handles where people can find you?
I did the whole. I don't know, about 2 years ago, I did the whole thing of changing literally every name to just Maiden Ariana. So it's Maiden Ariana on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Tumblr, YouTube. And like I said, on YouTube, I have the Retro Alcove series of videos and things like that. I am dual streaming on both YouTube and Twitch.
Are you on Pornhub?
No.
Oh, you're not. Darn it.
It's
X-Hamster.
It's X
Come on.
video.
If I am, it's just my head and up, and somebody did some photoshopping. So
So you got
or AI generated crap.
Like,
So.
Yeah, because you got to get on the like X videos because that Pornhub stuff is garbage. In Virginia, it's locked. I mean, I've heard
Locked
it's locked
in North Carolina too.
I heard it's locked. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Unless you're a creator.
I'm in New York now, y'all. So Pornhub works fine.
Nice.
Well, cool. Well, thanks so much for coming on. And I guess for those who are not our Patreon subscribers, why are you even here? No, I'm just kidding.
That's why we're losing followers.
Not to completely piss on Patreon, but you all should look into Ko-fi, Ko-fi, as an alternative to Patreon.
Okay.
Just because
it's
made by creators for creators, and they don't gouge the money that comes in as much as Patreon and stuff like that. So,
wait, Patreon gives you money?
Well, if people,
Yeah, what?
don't patrons don't.
I just thought that went to
Patreon.
Patreon.
A little bit, aren't you? From Patreon?
I don't know. I like honestly, we're honestly probably should be paying for stuff, but just it comes out of my paycheck before I even notice it. So. Welcome everybody, fuckers. But yeah, we'll check it out. Ko-fi.
I don't know how to pronounce.
Okay.
Their whole thing was like buy me a coffee, but it's Ko-fi. That's what it looks
that's
like
funny.
in my brain.
Oh yeah, I bought you a coffee on Twitch once.
That's
you used it. That's
all
right.
the GitHub people do it, I think, right, or something like that. But cool. Yeah, we'll check it out.
That's true. Yes, coders and it's I don't know. I like it better than Patreon because I used to be on Patreon. But...
Yeah.
Did anybody hear me? Just now?
What?
Sorry, what?
I just got kicked off of Buy Me a Coffee.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah, someone gave me like $20, and then they all of a sudden needed to review why people would pay me, and then they decided that I was too pornorgraphic to be on.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay, well maybe then for this channel,
awesome.
with the after hours.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I
I guess I better be careful over there. Wow. Okay.
It's the only thing.
Well, awesome.
Hold on,
This has been super fun. But yeah, if you're not part of the Patreon, check it out. Patreon.com/@girldadgirls, or maybe the @'s not there. Try both. We'll see what happens. We'll see you there. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, please check out next week when we'll be back with another sexy episode. But yeah, otherwise, if you're not a Patreon subscriber, this is where we're gonna leave you. But yeah, we'll see everybody in the after hours to subscribe. But yeah, anyways, thanks Ariana, and we'll see everybody then. Bye.
Bye everyone.
This has been a production of Girl Dad Girls Podcast. Check out new episodes every Thursday. If you are interested in knowing more, please email info@girldadgirls.com or find us on Instagram @girldadgirls. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.